Hello and welcome back, guys. How have you been? So, as you know, today is Valentine's Day and it's a day to spend time with your nearest and dearest. So, for that, I thought I would help you out by showing you how to do a not very simple look to impress your loved ones. So, let's jump in and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to prime our faces. So for primer today, we're going to use the number 7 Airbrush Away Flawless primer. So we're just going to take a little bit of that on our finger and then rub it all over our faces. Before you do this step, please make sure that you have moisturized, just so that your skin doesn't dry out through the day. This doesn't really dry you out. However, you want to just have that little bit of extra moisture in your skin. So you start on the nose and smear all over your face. The good thing about this primer is it's very thin, but it does help to blur out pores and any fine lines or wrinkles that you might have on your face. So it's a very lightweight and easy primer to use. It doesn't clog. It does have a little bit of a fragrance, but it's not too heavy, and it's also hypoallergenic, which is also a good thing. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a little bit of colour corrector under the eye just to get rid of my dark circles, because I apparently hate sleep. So I'm just going to take the NYX Concealer Brick. I'm just going to take this little pink shade down here on a little fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take that under the eyes to get rid of those circles. Okay, once you've got that colour corrector down, you want to just go over with a little smidgen of powder just to set that in place so it doesn't move when you put concealer or foundation or anything over the top of it. I'm just going to go in with the Rimmel London Insta Fix and Matte translucent powder. I'm just going to take that a little light layer of that just wherever I put that colour corrector, so it won't move about when I'm putting other products on my face. Okay, and then we're going to go in with our concealer. We're going to use the shade and highlight before your foundation method today, so that we can get a nice snatched look. For concealer, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Beige. I'm going to start under the eyes and just place that all the way up to here, like so, and then blend out. This doesn't dry as quickly as the 16-hour camo wear, however it does still dry quite quick, so we're just going to do one side at a time and blend out nice and quick. Okay, once you've done under the eyes, you're then going to take your concealer, just a little bit on the forehead, down the centre of the nose, and a little bit on the chin as well. So you're just going to do a couple of dots there, take a couple of dots down the nose, and a little bit on the chin just to highlight the high planes of the face, and then we're going to go in with our contour. Okay, so after that, we are then going to go in with our contour. I'm going to use a cream contour today, so I'm going to take just a little flat brush so I can get my placement, and then we're going to blend it out. I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Palette in the shade Light Sculpt, which is this one here, and we're just going to go on the cheeks, the jawline, the nose and the forehead to contour out our face. I'm going to take it from the top of the ear and come down and flick towards the centre of the face, like so. Take a little bit more product and flick, and that gets you the perfect line for where your contour needs to go. And then the same on the jawline. I'm going to take it from the bottom of the ear, take it round and flick, like so. Now, I don't really like to leave that like this and do all of the face and then go in and blend. I feel like sometimes if you do that, your contour can get a bit muddy. It starts to dry on the face and then it doesn't blend as well as it should. So I'm just going to blend this bit out just now, and then we'll go in and do the rest of the face after. Okay, once that's blended out, it should look something like this, and you're just going to mirror that on the other side of your face, and then we'll do the forehead and the nose. Okay, don't worry at this stage if your cheeks and jawline still look really unblended. We are going to go around the face with foundation to blend everything together, so you don't have to worry about that at this moment in time. So just leave it as blended as you would like, so long as you don't see that line of your first placement, you're good. Okay, so for the forehead, we're just going to go around the perimeter. We don't want to use too much product on the forehead or we're going to look muddy. Just a little bit at a time. Just get your placement and then we blend. Okay, and then we're on to the nose. For the nose, you're going to take your same little flat brush, but this time you're going to dip in using only the edge, which should be nice and flat. And now it depends on how you like to contour your nose. I like to just go from here down to about there, a little bit here, and then mirror that on the other side. Just like that. And then I'm going to take, instead of using this big brush to blend, I'm going to take a smaller brush, similar though, and just tap that in so that the product's not all concentrated on the center of the nose. And don't pull it down, otherwise you're going to end up with the sides of your nose looking really brown, and your nose is going to look bigger than what it usually does. Now for the underneath side, I just like to graze and flick up. Okay, so once we've done all of our contouring and our highlighting, we are then going to take our foundation. For foundation today, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hour Wear in the shade Rose Ivory. I'm just going to take 2 pumps on the back of my hand, like this, and then we're going to go in between the highlight and the contour just to blend those together, and anywhere on the face and neck that we haven't taken the foundation yet. So I'm actually going to start on the neck and just buff that in and work my way up towards the forehead. Trying my best not to go over any of the areas that we put the contour or the highlight, just so that we have that colour difference there as well. Okay, so after you have done your contour and your foundation and everything's blended together, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to powder your face. So you want to take your brush that you used to buff out your concealer and just go back under the eyes just to make sure you get rid of any concealer that may have fallen into any fine lines or wrinkles. And just smooth that back out. Okay, and then I'm going to take that same under eye powder that I used for the colour correction, and just go over the areas with the concealer. So that was the Rimmel Instant Fix and Matte, and we're just going to take quite a nice coating of that, and we're just going to go under the eyes and set. Okay, once you have done that, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to focus on the eyes and the eyebrow area. I'm going to use a pomade, the Revolution Pro pomade in the shade Taupe, just to fill in the eyebrows and give them a little bit more shape. So I'm going to go first in with the spoolie and just brush that hair to where I want it to go, like this. And I'm going to throw the pomade on the floor. I'm going to take the pomade and just fill in the hair and add a little bit more shape to the brow. And I'm going to just make sure that my brush is nice and flat while I'm doing this, so I get a nice crisp line and it doesn't fluff everywhere. Where's my puff? Here's my puff. Okay, the next step in the eyebrow routine is a brow gel. I'm going to use the NYX Control Freak brow gel just to set those hairs in place and make sure you're not going to fluff a bit everywhere. So I like to brush up the way like this, and then just go around the edge and pull everything from about maybe 3/4 of the way in, and just round that back down into the shape that we created with the pomade. So this is one brow. I'm going to go do the other brow off camera and we will be right back. Alright, and we are back and the brows are done. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to prime our eyelids with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. And I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush just to do that. I'm just going to go all over the lids with the paint pot. I like to bring it all the way up to my eyebrow as well, because we will be placing shadow there also. Alright, once the eyelids are primed, we are going to jump into eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, I thought that we would do something a little bit different, something very pink. So I'm going to start by going into the Morphe Jeffree Star eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. And we're going to go into shade Back here. Okay, and we're just going to take that into the crease and use that as our transition shade. Okay, that shade did not need as much persuading to show up as others that we've tried. Okay, and then we're going to take the shade 2, which is the glittery shade next to that, this one here. And we're going to use that as a highlight under the brow. I'm just going to take that on a little brush, a little dense packer brush, and highlight our brow bone. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the shade Bubblegum from the Mini Breaker palette, which is this shade here, and we're going to use that in the crease again just to give us a little bit more depth in the crease before we move on and do the next step. Okay, because I don't feel like that's giving me enough depth, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the Stacey Marie palette and we're going to go in with the shade Funky, which is this one here, which is just a little bit of a deeper pink. We're just going to take it on the same brush. And we're just going to give it a little bit of a light coating in the crease again. Okay, next we're going to go back into our Jeffree Star Morphe palette. This one here. And we're going to use the shade here, Self-Made, mixed with a little bit of Pink Fleet. And we're going to take that on the inner and outer corners of the eye and try and keep the middle nice and clear of shadow. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of carving out of the lid. So we're going to grab another little flat brush with a rounded tip, and we're going to take a little bit of concealer. I'm just going to jump in with the concealer we used earlier, and we're just going to carve out the middle of the lid where you left that space, like this. Okay, so once you've done that, you need to fill it in. What I'm going to use to fill it in is the EYN Bright Shimmer from Beauty Bay. I'm going to use the colour Coral Crush right here. It's a nice sort of pinky, corally, shimmery shade, and we're just going to tap that on. Alright, because I don't feel like that's giving me enough of a shimmer, I'm going to go in with the shade 2, which we use to highlight our brow bone. I'm just going to use my finger again, and we're just going to pat that over the first shades. Alright, and then we're going to go under the eyes with a little bit of bubblegum and what was the other shade we used? Can't remember. So we're going to go under the eyes with a little bit of bubblegum and mix with a little bit of Self-Made. I'm just going to bring that in. We're going to leave the middle part clear of the pink shades just now, and then we're going to grab the shade 2 on our flat brush, and we're just going to place that in the center where we kept devoid of shadow, just to add a little bit of sparkle to the under eye as well. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of the Coral Crush in there as a little base coat. Okay, so that is the eyeshadow portion done. I'm going to go jump off camera and do liner and lashes, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, and we are back. So I have on the Ardell Wispy lashes. I just went for a nice soft subtle lash today, since it is Valentine's Day and everything has to be romantic and flirty and casual. I also went for a nice winged liner. There's a little bit of gold just on the outside of the wing there. Nice white liner on the a waterline and then some mascara just to finish off the eye look. So that brings us to our lips. So today I was thinking a nice pink nude to go with this eye look. I have two here, both from Revolution, both matte. Pardon me, they are Naked and Protect. I actually think I'm going to go with Protect because it's a little bit of a darker, more kind of purpley toned nude. We're going to line our lips first of all using the MIX lip liner in the shade Ever. We're just going to give it a quick little sharpen and then we'll get to lining the lips and then applying the lipstick. Okay, and that is the lip. We're just going to powder the face really quickly with the Laura Mercier loose setting powder just to set the foundation in place so it's not going to move about for the rest of the day. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and then I'm just going to... Oh, that's a lot. Okay, so we're just going to kick up the contour just a little bit so that it's still visible from the cream. We're just going to take the BH Cosmetics contour kit and we're just going to give a little light dusting. I'm going to do some highlight before I move on to blush, just so that the highlight doesn't stand out from the face. I want it to just be a nice little subtle glow, so for that I'm going to use the MAC Silver Dusk Loose Illuminating Powder. I'm not going to use a really intense highlight for this today, because I don't want it to be over the top. Okay, so last thing but not least is our blush. We're going to go into the Get the Pretty Started and use the California blush from in here and just blush up the cheeks, and then we're ready to set the face and we're done. So just California, and I'm just going to work that back towards the contour and up slightly into the highlight as well. Nice and soft, give yourself a little flush, don't want too much. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to spray our face and then we are finished with this look. So I just sprayed my face with the MIX Bear With Me setting spray, which you can also use to prime the face with as well, and then we let our hair down and we are ready go out on our date. Alright guys, so this is the finished look for Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoyed watching me create it and would like to see more of my work. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and ring that bell so you are notified every time I upload. So now you're ready to go out on your dates and tell me about them in the comments. See you later guys. Bye.